It's a Friday morning in Las Vegas. Somebody picks up a phone at an IT help desk. A guy's locked out of his account. He's got a meeting. He sounds a little stressed. So they help him. 4 days later, 36,000 hotel rooms won't open. The slot machines go dark. Thousands of them, all at once. And MGM puts the damage at around $100 million. It wasn't a virus. It wasn't a 0 day. Nobody broke anything. They just asked. So here's the question. How do you rob the most watched building on Earth without ever setting foot inside it? The help desk. Now, if you know one thing about casino security, it's that casinos are paranoid, correctly paranoid. Above the ceiling of every big property in Vegas is a second building. Cameras, monitors, people whose entire job is to assume you're lying. They call it the eye in the sky. It can pick a card counter out of a crowd. It can follow one chip across a room. 100 years of paranoia. And here's the thing nobody says out loud. It works. Scattered Spider says they went after MGM because MGM caught them. They'd been trying to rig the slot machines, the old-fashioned way. The crime the entire building was designed to stop. And the building stopped it. Which is, if you think about it, the most embarrassing possible outcome for Las Vegas. Because it means the system worked. And then they just walked around it. Nobody ever thought to put an eye in the sky above the help desk. The people who did this came out of something called the COM. It's not a gang. It doesn't have a leader or a headquarters or a manifesto. Researchers who've spent years inside it describe something closer to anonymous. Cells of 5 people, forming, dissolving. It's a few thousand English-speaking kids on Discord bragging about what they've broken into. And almost every single thing they brag about starts the same way. Not with code, with a conversation. Inside the COM, Noah Urban had a job title. He was a caller. That's it. That's the skill. He talked. I want to be precise about what that means, because it sounds like nothing. He phones someone who works at a phone company. He tells them a small, believable story. He's locked out. He's on the road. And then he does the only thing in this entire film that actually matters. He waits. Politely. While a stranger decides to help him. Most of the time, it doesn't work. That's the part everyone leaves out. This isn't a heist. It's a shift. You call, you get hung up on, you call again. He did that the way you'd stock shelf. Okay, I have to stop and flag something here, because this next part is the best story in the film, and I don't fully trust it. Everything you're about to hear about how Noah Urban got into this comes from Noah Urban. He told it to a Bloomberg reporter from a jail cell after he'd already pleaded guilty. It's not in any indictment. No court has tested a word of it. It's a story a convicted man tells about himself. So hold it the way you'd hold anything like that. He says he was 15. He says he learned it from someone he met playing Minecraft. He says the work paid $50 a call. And he says that in his first week, he made $3,000. Now, whether or not you believe him, and that's genuinely up to you, think about what that number does to a 15-year-old's sense of scale. Every legitimate path anyone has ever described to him. School, a degree, a career, 30 years. All of it is now visibly, insultingly slow. The COM didn't outpay his future. It outpaced it. He never learned to code. He never needed to. Because the only skill he ever built, being persuasive to a stranger under time pressure, has exactly one bite. So how do you actually get in? Let me play you a version of it. This is a reconstruction. The words are ours, but the technique is real, and it's on record. Listen to how little pressure it takes.
IT support, this is Karen. How can I help?
Hey, hi! Yeah, I'm completely locked out of my account. And I've got a call with my manager in like 10 minutes.
No problem at all. I can help with that. Can I get your name and employee ID?
Yeah, it's Daniel Reyes, employee ID 447201.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to send a verification code to the phone we have on file.
That's actually the problem. I switched phones this weekend, and the authenticator didn't come over. Is there any way you can just reset it on your end?
Oh, no worries. It happens all the time. Give me 1 second. Okay, you should be all set.
You're a lifesaver. Honestly, I really did not want to be late to this one.
Now, watch what he never had to do. He never guessed a password. He never cracked anything. And when she asked him to verify himself, he had the answers, because the homework was already done. His name, his ID, the manager he reports to, all of it sitting in a data breach or on a public profile weeks before he ever picked up the phone. By the time he called, he wasn't guessing who Daniel Reyes was. He was Daniel Reyes. The story about the new phone? That's the whole game. Multi-factor authentication is supposed to stop exactly this. But he didn't beat it. He asked someone to turn it off for him. And if she'd said no, he'd hang up, wait an hour, call back, get somebody new. Same story, same tired voice. It's not one perfect con. You only have to win one. And once he's in, he doesn't stay a guest. He registers his own phone as the trusted device. Now the codes come to him. He adds his own account to the administrators. From the inside, he doesn't look like an intruder. He looks like IT, which means the next call is even easier. Then they hired professionals, a Russian outfit called ALPHV that rents ransomware the way you'd rent server space. The teenagers didn't write a line of it. They subcontracted it. And then, the gang says, they encrypted about 100 servers, which is a technical way of saying they turned off Las Vegas. Total sophistication required, a browser, a phone, and the nerve to stay on the line. MGM's own CEO said it on a stage 3 weeks later. That's the layer that got engineered. The victim diagnosed it perfectly. It was a person. And here's the part that stings. They saw it coming. By day 2, we knew they were there, he said. They knew. There's a part of this story nobody likes. Because MGM wasn't first. Caesars was. Caesars got breached on the 18th of August. They didn't notice until the 7th of September. For 20 days, somebody else was living in the house. And when Caesars found out, Caesars paid. 30 million demanded, negotiated down to 15, wired it, kept the lights on, and most of the world never even noticed. MGM said no. And MGM took a $100 million hit to that month's earnings, then paid $45 million more to settle with the customers whose data got taken anyway. So let's do the math out loud, because it's ugly. Caesars paid criminals $15 million, and financially, it was the correct decision. MGM did the thing we all tell companies to do. Don't negotiate. Call the FBI. Don't fund the next one. And it cost them about 10 times more. What $15 million actually bought was a promise from the people who'd just robbed them. And Caesars said so themselves, in writing to their own investors. We have taken steps to ensure the stolen data is deleted by the unauthorized actor, although we cannot guarantee this result. $15 million for a receipt. And every dollar that landed proved the model works. The only reason there's a prosecution at the end of this film, the only reason any of these kids got caught, is that somebody finally refused. Here's the thing about the casinos. They were the small job. The loudest thing these kids ever did, sure, but not the biggest. Because the same ecosystem, the same playbook, the same phone calls reached into a cloud company called Snowflake. And through it, its customers. AT&T, Ticketmaster, Neiman Marcus, around 100 companies, through one door. And then it stopped being about data at all. Marks and Spencer, Qantas, and Jaguar Land Rover, where the attack didn't leak a file or steal a password. It stopped the line. A car factory, full of people who build things with their hands, sitting still, because somebody, somewhere, made a phone call. By 2024, Russian ransomware crews, professionals, adults, people with actual state protection were publicly expressing respect for a group of English-speaking teenagers. They called them a force multiplier. And when the arrests started, they didn't scatter. In the summer of 2025, they announced a collaboration. They consolidated Scattered Spider, UNC 3944, Star Fraud, Octo Tempest, Scatter Swine, Muddled Libra, Shiny Hunters, 7 names. For a thing that isn't really a group at all. And that's the problem. You can arrest a person. You cannot arrest a name. But you can arrest a person. And one by one, in airports on 3 continents, that's exactly what started to happen. January 24. Palm Coast, Florida. The Minecraft Kid. Noah Urban pleaded guilty, and a federal judge in Jacksonville sentenced him to 10 years. $13 million in restitution, 59 victims. Prosecutors asked for 8 years. The judge went higher. June 24, Spain. Tyler Buchanan, taken at an airport, boarding a flight. July 24, England. A 17-year-old, arrested, bailed, never named, because he was a child. September 2025. A juvenile walked into a detention center in Las Vegas and surrendered. He was local. He'd hit the town he lived in. And in June 2026, Thala Jubair and Owen Flowers pleaded guilty on the first day of what should have been a 6-week trial for the attack on Transport for London. And Flowers admitted to something else, conspiring against a hospital system. Not a casino this time. April 26. A 19-year-old is standing at a gate in Helsinki airport, waiting for a flight to Japan. His name is Peter Stokes. American prosecutors say he was part of at least 4 Scattered Spider operations. The first, when he was 16. He has entered no plea. He has not been indicted. Everything about him is an allegation. And he is presumed innocent. But this part isn't. Every Windows machine quietly generates a number that identifies it. It survives updates. Microsoft has since confirmed you cannot turn it off. And Microsoft gave it to the FBI. Here is a group that understood one thing better than any company it ever robbed. That behind every system, there is a person. And a person can be talked to. And in the end, the machine told on him. He never got on the plane. One more thing happened while Noah Urban was being prosecuted. Somebody called the federal court's own IT contractor, told them a story, got a password reset, walked into a magistrate judge's email, and took Urban's sealed indictment. The court that was prosecuting a man for social engineering got social engineered. The judge's words, on the record, what it ultimately turned into was a big faux pas. Every institution in this film has a help desk, including the one that decides what happens to you. In July 2025, the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center put out a warning about the COM. It wasn't addressed to security teams. It wasn't a technical advisory for companies with something to lose. It was filed as a rising threat to youth online. The FBI doesn't classify this world as a criminal organization. It classifies it as a danger to children, their words, many of whom are minors. Because the COM's product was never ransomware, they rented that. Its product is recruits. It goes where the kids are, and it finds the ones who are good at talking. Noah Urban says he was 15 on a Minecraft server when somebody taught him a trick. We only have his word for that. He's 21 now, 10 years to serve, $13 million to pay, which he will never pay. He filed an appeal. In December, he dropped it. He never wrote a virus. He never broke an encryption. He was just a kid who was good at talking to people, and the comm found him the way it was built to. Las Vegas built the most watched buildings on Earth because it believed the danger was a person. They were right. They just spent 100 years pointing the cameras at the floor. The whole time, the door was a guy on a telephone, trying to be helpful. And on the other end of the line, a teenager who was very good at asking.